Alright, let's do this. Well, let's do it.
Are we gonna do this one?
Here we go. Here we go.
I don't really feel like doing this one.
Excerpt from a local newspaper. Ominous unknown killer is still at large. After weeks of unexplained murders, an ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. I had a bad dream. Well, the night, says the boy. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. I crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, blue eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. Black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. Watching me, finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase, but said in a way only a madman could speak. Said, "Go to sleep." Without a scream, and that's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked. I punched. I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of my neighbors hadn't alerted the police. I drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out at to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face, those cold, evil eyes, and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head. Police are still on the lookout for this man. One that fits the description in the story, please contact your local police department. Okay, and now we're in the present. And his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work. And they thought it would be the best. It would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't complain, though. A new, better house. In fact, one of their neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you." "Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son." Calls her son over. "Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Mom, "I'm Margaret." "Well," said Jeff's mom, "I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter, and my two sons, Jeff and Lou." And then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday party. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family are done packing, "Why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you hadn't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid."
Valid argument.
His mother. "We just moved here. Want to spend time with our neighbors. Now, we're going to that party and that's final." Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. Room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as some sort of random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. Ending of the paragraph. The next day, Jeff walked down the stairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there, eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. Stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain. Oh my God. But he once again dismissed it. Finished breakfast. They walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. Hey, what the hell? Landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands, aside from just one hand. The kid seems to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. Oh, yeah. He wears an Aeropostale t-shirt. Or no, just a shirt. And ripped blue jeans. That is against dress code. You better put some proper jeans on.
Mr. Johnson's gonna get you with that. Hey.
Mr. Johnson's gonna get you. Alright, well. It looks like we got some new meat. Suddenly, 2 other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge. Well, since you're here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. There is Keith. Oh my god. Looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling.
Okay.
First kid, I'm Randy. His name's Randy.
That's very That's very intimidating. He's like, and I, said the first kid, I'm Randy.
And I am Randy. Alright. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there's a small price for bus fare. If you catch my drift, Lou stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife on him.
Oh my god. How old are these kids?
Yes. 12
years old.
And Jeff is 13.
12 years old. Dude, if I would have whipped the knife out, like, just playing with it, I would have got a whooping at 12.
Yeah.
And some therapy. Maybe not some therapy. Maybe that's over-exaggerating it a little bit, but that's still ridiculous.
This gets worse, trust me. The kid walked up to... Wait, no. Pulled a knife on him. I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way, said the 12-year-old, walking up with a knife. The kid walked up to Lou and took his wallet out of his pocket. You know, the 12-year-old with a wallet. Jeff got that feeling again. Oh no. Now it was truly strong. A burning sensation. But Lou gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. Listen here, you little punk. There's a wallet or else. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. Well, you do. Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. Nice.
Just popped
As reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it.
Dude, Jeff goes hard.
Yo, Jeff messes with death hard.
Dude, I need to get some superheroing lessons from Jeff the Killer, man. If he knows how to fight, maybe he can be my mentor.
Screamed, and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, as previously stated, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell over, he puked all over. Do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. Oh my god. Jeff, how'd you... They saw the bus coming and they knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing, you know, kind of because you did it.
Yeah, right?
So they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over. Hold on, we gotta put a pause on this real quick.
Okay. What's up?
Apologize for the pause. Alright, so, yeah, they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Lou made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. Sit there and listen. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids. But Jeff knew it was more. It was something
Scary.
As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. God, why? The urge to just hurt someone. Oof. Sounded. But he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home, due to the whole thing near the bus stop and how he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore, he felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said, in a somewhat ominous voice,
It was
next
a wonderful
morning, he
day.
heard... It was a wonderful day. Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door. His mother looking back at him with an angry look. Yes. Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids, that it wasn't regular fighting, and they were stabbed. Stabbed, son. Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. The ones who pulled the knives on me and were 12-year-olds. Yes. Son, said one of the cops.
With the quotations.
We found 3 kids.
Yeah.
Said some of the cops. We found 3 kids. 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach. And we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now what does that tell us? Yeah, that's right, Jeff. You're going to the slammer, 13-year-old. He could say him and Lou had been attacked, but there was no proof. It was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing, because truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou. Call down your brother. Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids. Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up all the kids. Lou tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me. The cop looked at his partner, and they both nod. Well, kid, looks like a year in
A year in juvie for beating up a whole group of kids and stabbing them. Yeah, that's about a
Stabbing
year.
too.
It's about a year in juvie. It's not attempted murder. Right?
About. This boy needs to go to jail. All right.
No, I think the original kids need to go to jail because they literally pulled a knife on a kid. Just a kid.
How'd they have knives then?
Yeah, how they have knives, I have no clue. I mean, kids can get their hands on anything these days, you know. But yeah,
In like 2008.
yeah.
All right, hold on. Wait, says Lou. They all look up to see him holding a knife. The officers pull their guns and lock them on.
Lou with the knife.
12-year-old's got a knife. Yo, lock and load. Hold up, he's got a knife.
Oh my god.
It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it. He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises as if he was in a struggle. Son, just put the knife down, said the officer. Lou held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. It was me. I did it. Jeff had tears running down his face.
Yeah, tears running down
poor
your face.
bro,
and he sounds
trying to
like,
take the
"No,
blame for what I did.
right."
Well, take me away. Oh my god, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
Alright. Lou, tell them it was me. Tell them I was the one who beat up those kids. Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulder. You don't have to lie. We know it's Lou. You can stop. Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off with Lou inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were straining from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked as his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept in the driveway. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back to the house, seeing that his parents were both shocked and sad and disappointed. I'm sorry, he couldn't look at them. Thought of Lou when it was his fault. He just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by with no word from Lou at JDC, no friends to hang out with, nothing but sadness and guilt. Saturday, when Jeff woke up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face. Jeff! It's me, she said, as she opened up the curtains to let light flood into his room.
What? What's today?
Asked Jeff as he stirs awake. Billy's birthday party. Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after...
Oh my god, so the mother told Jeff, it's the day to go to Billy's party. The day after their son gets arrested for having a knife and stabbing some kids, they're like, yeah, we're just gonna go to the party. Nothing wrong with that.
It's been 2 days. See, that's completely reasonable. 1 day would be out of the question.
Oh, yeah,
2 days,
definitely.
that's all good.
2 days, it's all good. All fine.
It's all you need. Alright. Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed. Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get ready herself. He fought himself to get up. Shirt and a pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up. His mother in a dress and his father in a suit. What? It's like a freaking 6-year-old kid. Why are you getting all dressed up?
Yeah.
He thought, why would they ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party? Yes, same. To wear, said Jeff's mom. Better than wearing too... Hold on. Better than wearing too much, he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hit it with a smile. Oh yeah, let me yell at my son after his brother's been taken away. We may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression, said his father. Jeff grunted and went back up to his room. I don't have any fancy clothes, he yelled downstairs. He looked around in his closet for what he could call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which would go with dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. Oh my gosh. Hearing that, they both said. His mother looked at her watch. Oh, no time to change. Let's just go, she said as she heard Jeff and his father out the door. As she herded Jeff and his father out the door. Over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door, and it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. Nice. The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them, said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in a Toys R Us. Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat. He said, "Oh, no, kid. I'm going to go for that stuff." Hey.
That's what he said.
Kid, I'm way too old for that stuff. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face. Please? Said the kid. Fine. He put on the hat and started pretend shooting at the kids. At first, he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started actually having fun. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off Lou. For a while until he heard a noise, a weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off his hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. "Hello, Jeff, is it?" he said. "We have some unfinished business." Jeff saw his bruised nose. "I think we're even. You got my brother sent to JDC. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. "Oh no. I go for winning. You may have kicked our... Oh, that's a naughty word. You may have kicked our bouteilles that one day, but not today." As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeez. That would hurt a lot. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets.
Oh my god. I do not remember this story being that violent. Maybe it's because I read it like
This is
4
the
years
original.
ago. This is the OG
This is the
one.
original.
Oh my
I love it.
gosh.
It's because of how bad it is.
Yeah.
One interrupts or guts will fly, they said. Oh my god. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Need some help? He picks Jeff up by the back of the collar and throws him straight through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked to the ground. Starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. Jesus. Alright, come on, Jeff. Fight me. He picks Jeff up and throws him into the kitchen. Bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Okay. Fight! He throws Jeff back into the living room. Come on, Jeff. Look at me. Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year? You should be ashamed. Jeff starts to get up. What is this guy, a freaking anime antagonist?
That's exactly
Come
what
on.
he sounds.
King, I did all of this bad stuff and you're just not gonna fight me. It's like, yeah, no, it's enough, yeah. You stand and fight. Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling. The one in which he hasn't felt for a while. Finally, he is up. Says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens. Something inside of Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. And Paul drives him to the ground. Okay. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart.
Punches him in the heart. He's like,
this is going full anime fight, alright? They're ignoring ribs, just straight in the heart. Okay. So punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop, and as Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body. Just random places in his body. I get it.
yeah.
Until he takes one final breath and dies. Oh, nice. Randy's dead. So, rip Randy. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith, although they easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff. Jeff sees the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. As up the stairs, he hears Troy and Keith follow up behind. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready. Why'd they... Oh yeah, they let the final bullet rounds out. Knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck, pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burned both of them, and they both started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes as best he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. Oh. What's so funny? Asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on. What's funny, he said, is that you are covered in bleach and alcohol. His eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him.
God.
This is good. Oh yeah, let me just throw a lighter at you. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, drop to the ground, nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and other parents trying to extinguish the flame. That's when he passed out. Okay. Oh. Really good part. So that was the climax. It's going to downgrade from here. So.
Yeah.
Just in case you were expecting any, like, other amazing... Actually, no, there's one more amazing development, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Alright, we're in the final stretch, final act.
I just took a couple sips of water. I took a couple swallows. I'm gonna need that.
Yeah.
When Jeff woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized there was some tube in his arm. When he tried to get up, it fell out and a nurse rushed in. "I don't think you can get out of bed just yet," she said as she put him back in bed and reinserted the tube. No vision, no idea of what his surroundings were. Finally, after 2 hours, he heard his mother. "Honey, are you okay?" she asked. Jeff couldn't answer, though. His face was covered, and he was unable to speak. "Oh, honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed of trying to attack you, they decided to let Liu go."
Wait.
This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. "He'll be out by tomorrow, and you two will be able to be together again." This is Jeff, and says her goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Came the day when his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it, what he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed. Says the doctor. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. "Ah!" Lou and Jeff's dad stare, awestruck at his face. What? What happened to my face? Jeff said. He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of the distress. His face, it's horrible. His lips were burnt into a deep shade of red, into a pure white color, and his hair singed from brown to black. He slowly put his hand to his face. It's sort of leathery feel to it now. Back at his family, then back at the mirror. What, are they in the bathroom now? Yeah. Not to mention, that's not how bleach and alcohol fire works.
Yeah.
Said Lou. "It's not that bad." "Not that bad," says Jeff. "It's perfect."
Dude,
His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching. Mm-hmm.
This is basically
Jeff,
the
are you
Joker's
okay?
background
Okay,
story.
I've never felt more happy. Ah, look at me. This face goes perfectly with me. He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when... Oh my god! No! He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at the mirror. Let me back up.
You may be wondering, what caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity, snapped. Now he was left as a crazed killing machine. That is, his parents didn't know.
We didn't know that
Yeah,
either.
just in case.
All it said was that he was defending himself. When did it ever say that his sanity snapped? Never.
Oh, it said it way up here.
Okay.
Hold on. You finally stand and fight. Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling. The one in which he hasn't felt for a while.
Oh, okay.
And that's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps, his psyche destroyed. Okay.
Oh, okay. And yeah, that makes
Back
sense.
to just ignoring the fact that in your creepypasta, you have a moment where you remind the reader of what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. "Doctor," said Jeff's mom. "All right, in the head." "Oh yes, this behavior is typical of patients that have taken very large amounts of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here and we'll give him a psychological test. Bring him back in 3 weeks, put him down." "Okay, thank you, doctor." Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. "Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go." Jeff looks away from the mirror, his face still formed into a crazy smile. Ha ha ha. His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes. "Men," said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched together. To his room and made him put his clothes on. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life. Oh my, you just revealed the ending, really?
Oh my god.
That night, Jeff's mother. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. Bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks.
Jeff, what are you doing?
Asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother.
I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever.
Jeff's mother noticed his eyes ringed in black.
Jeff, your eyes.
His eyes were seemingly never closing.
I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself, my new face.
Mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane.
What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful?
She said.
Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can see your face.
She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep.
Honey, get the gun. Get the gun.
She said, let's
She stopped
kill
and she
him.
saw
That's what
Jeff
she said.
in the doorway
Yep.
holding a... Honey, get the gun. Jeff has gone insane.
Oh, Jesus.
You lied.
That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with the knife, gutting both of them. Oh, nice. His brother Lou woke up, startled by some noise.
He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him.
I always feel like somebody's
Jeff's hand covered his
watching
mouth.
Okay, continue. Okay,
Oh,
continue.
no. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. Before Jeff's hand covered his mouth, he slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Lou. Lou thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip.
And that's the end. That's the end of the story.
I didn't quite catch that, so I'm gonna read that out. Shh. Just go to sleep.
Just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. That's the end of the story. That's the end.
That's fantastic.
Murder me brutally with feels, but I honestly thought this... No, it was not good.
Yeah.
Does bleach turn your skin white in real life? No, it burns it, like, until it's gone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it had a little bit of that action factor. I think it's like one of the best, worst creepypastas. Like, so bad that it's good. You know what I mean?
I still don't like it at all. Like about it is because it's funny to read. Because you're like, no, watch the 12-year-olds pull a gun on the 13-year-old for breaking their wrist and stabbing them.
Yeah, that is true. They're like,
And
alright,
also,
we need to end
the
this guy.
amazing... There's the two really amazing scenes where it's like, oh, look, the 12-year-old's got a knife. Pull the gun, man, pull the gun, pull the guns on the kid with a knife.
Yeah.
And then the other scene where it's like, oh, honey, get the gun.
It's just like, okay, my son is crazy, you know, he needs us. We probably need to call, like, you know, a psychiatrist, the police. We need to call an ambulance. I mean, he's just burnt out his eyelids. And her solution is, honey, get the gun. She's like, alright, it's time to put our kid down. It's like, what the heck, man?
I like how, and then afterwards he kills Lou for no reason.
Yeah, Lou didn't do anything to him. I mean, at this point, I think his entire psyche is just destroyed. But you gotta assume there's some logic left in
I
it.
think he still likes Lou since it's like the best part of his life, apparently. But
Yeah.
let me just like slowly murder Lou.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. It's really bad.
Like psychotic immense strength. He can beat fully grown humans.
Although, you know, there is a Jeff the Killer cinematic universe.
Oh.
There's also Jeff the Killer versus the Rake and Jane the Killer.
Dude, no, wait, but have you but have you heard about she's well, which one was it? Hold on, it was Jeff the Killer
versus the killer versus
Oh yeah, Jeff versus Jane. Yeah, there was another one like that.
One where it was legit Jeff the Killer versus Michael Myers.
No freaking way.